Hello, and welcome to the Law of Attraction Tribe podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Keith, and I'm sorry for not putting out an episode last week. Um, I don't know what, I was just in an energetic funk. Like, I could not, for the life of me, bring myself to record. And I just let myself, like, let it go. Like, I'm usually, since I've had this podcast, there's very few times I don't like skip a week or whatever. Or there's very few times I do skip a week, I should say. Um, but I just wasn't feeling it. And I think that's one of the problems with the way I do things is I don't batch record. I don't pre-record. I literally like wait because normally every week there will be some download that I get that I just feel like I need to talk about. And usually, whenever I do that, I get a lot of people that'll reach out and be like, I felt like you were talking directly to me. This is exactly what I needed to hear. Because I believe that these downloads or whatever are coming through at that particular point for a reason. Like somebody needs to hear it. And this week, I wasn't really getting anything like, or things would come in, but just not very clear. And it was just a busy week or whatever. Um, so yeah, I didn't record. So anyhow, I apologize for anyone that's like, where the hell were you? Because I know I get people like, are you okay? Is everything okay? Because I'm usually always on Monday with an episode. But yeah, everything's fine. Um, and I think that's okay once in a while to like take a break. I think when we push ourselves to do it anyways, the energy is off. And I think too, like that's when you get into burnout where you just don't want to do it anymore and you want to just give up. So anyhow, that funk lasted like literally 2 days and now I'm back to normal. We all have our little dips. And that's something that I remind myself of, and I think everyone should, is that everything is a cycle. And when we get in these energetic funks where we have low energy, where we don't feel motivated or inspired or want to take action, we beat ourselves up and we tell ourselves there's something wrong with us. We're lazy, we are not motivated, and we tend to think that that's going to last forever when it's literally just a cycle. And you're always going to reach that like bottom point and then you come back up and things come back up, you get your energy back and then you take whatever action is needed. And so it just helps me remember that like everything is a cycle. If I'm having a bad day or a bad week or whatever, I know it's going to come back around and just give myself the space to rest because when you don't and when you don't take care of your energy, that's when you get into burnout or that's when things will fall apart because if you're not listening to the cues and taking a break, you're going to be forced to take a break either through illness or whatever. I feel like the universe will intervene. So just take the break. This is your sign to take the break. Slow down if you're feeling like, you aren't feeling motivated, you're feeling tired, you're not lazy, you just need to take a little break. So I want to talk about the new moon and setting intentions. This is a really good time to do it. You can set intentions anytime, but the new moon, the way that I look at it is it's a new cycle, it's a new beginning. So I like to look at it as like a new chapter. Um, so you can think of it as a book or a movie or whatever. This is the new chapter, and you can do a plot twist. You can advance, you can take a break. Like you could do whatever you want because you are writing the next chapter. And it's a good time to really look at how things are going and evaluate. Am I where I want to be? If not, okay, no problem. I'm going to get there in this chapter. This is the change I'm going to make. This is the intention I'm going to set. And I want to bring up a couple examples because I feel like I've been on a manifesting kick lately where things are just manifesting so easily and effortlessly. I don't think it's a coincidence that this is happening at the same time that I've been implementing all these nervous system regulations. I think when you feel at ease in your body, you are at ease in manifesting, you're at ease in life, like energy just flows more effortlessly. So there is that, but it's also a specific way of setting intentions that really makes all the difference. And that's what I want to talk about today because, like I said, with the new moon, this is a great time for setting intentions. And I just like making a little ritual out of it. My my middle one, Amelia, she loves whenever I'm talking about the moon. Like she gets really into it, and I think it's just a good, I don't know, it's like a good, I guess you could call it like self-care or something. But it's just a good time to sit down and get really clear on where you're at, where you're going, and make some adjustments. So I talked, I think, I don't know, it was like a few weeks ago where I was talking about how, as a society, just generalizing here, we tend to think that it is normal or our comfort zone, our financial thermostat is set below $10,000 a month. So I did like a whole episode on that. If you didn't listen to it, you can go listen to that. And as a business owner, I'm sure any business owner can relate to this. There's almost like there's no such thing as consistency, especially in a digital business. There's just a lot of like ups and downs. So you might have a new product that launches and you have a big month, things are going great. And then the next month, you don't have any launches or anything specific going on, and it goes down. There's also different times of the year, like October always is a big time of the year for the Manifest It Now app because I don't know, people are just in like that witchy vibe and download the app. The new year, when people are setting goals, that's always really big. But then there will be these dips in like the summer, where everyone's kind of busy on summer break, taking vacations, whatever. So that's kind of like the expectation. And the other expectation that I've really worked on a lot is that I don't have to be actually working full time to make money. Like I can make money passively. That was a goal that I set back when I was still in my corporate 9 to 5 job. Every single day I was writing down, I have multiple streams of passive income because the whole idea was making money passively so I could have the freedom to enjoy life now. And that's exactly what I did. But I realized there's this expectation that has played out because I believe it that it can't be consistent. So if you have a really good month, like that's your good month, the next month's probably going to be low and there's not that consistency. And that's really what I wanted to change. So I was talking with a financial planner, and they just have you like go through your budget, how much you're spending, how much you want in retirement, like the whole 9 yards. It really makes you look at your finances. And I think that is a good thing to do because so many of us avoid our finances and money because it's the source of stress. But it's really good to see where you're at and where you want to be. It's kind of like a wake up call. And what I realized through all of that was it was kind of hard to answer certain questions because I'm a business owner where there's not like perfect consistency. Like it's not the same amount every week or every month or every year. Like, yeah, you want it to grow, but it's just, I don't know. I was really struggling with that. And so, long story short, I decided this is a belief I don't want to believe anymore. I want consistency. I want my new minimum to be $1,000 every single day minimum. Meaning, when I wake up in the morning before we do anything else, I want to look at my computer on my dashboard and see the day before, boom, hit my goal. So I can like go through my day at ease and knowing that the other shoe isn't going to drop or there's not going to be a super low month. Like I want that to be the new average, I guess, or the new minimum. So I set this intention and then I wrote out, this is what I want. This is my new minimum. Show me whatever it is I need to get there and to create this consistency in my business. And that very same day, I get an email from this woman. I've taken some of her courses, and it's $1,000 days. That's like the name of the program. And I'm like, huh, okay. And I kind of like almost didn't see the email. And then I got distracted. And then I saw another email and I'm like, oh, yeah, like maybe this is my sign. Like maybe I should sign up for this. So then I pull one of my Oracle cards and I'm asking the question, like, should I sign up for this course? And I'm like pulling cards. Immediately after I pull the card, I go on Facebook and she is doing a Facebook Live where she's talking about this program. I'm like, okay, that's my sign. I'm in. I sign up for it. So I'm in this program and we get paired up with like a partner. So I have I have my partner, and as we're going through it, we're talking about it and we're like, this is not at all what we expected. I was like, this is not like I am not really getting any guidance here. This isn't, I'm not learning anything I didn't already know, which was kind of a bummer. And we were talking, and I'm like, you know what? Who cares? I don't care what is happening. We are going to hit our goal. We are going to do it no matter what it takes. We're going to figure it out. With her help or not, it doesn't matter. We're doing this. We're hitting our goal, and we have each other to like hold each other accountable. So I set that intention. And here's what's different too is I wasn't saying like, oh, I hope we can make it. I hope that we can hit $1,000 a day. I wasn't saying like, I really wish I could, but I have to get this done and that done, and I have to do X, Y, Z first. I wasn't saying like, oh, by the end of this, I want to hit this number. I was just saying like, it's done. It's done. And, no matter what happens, it's a done deal. Like I was deciding. I wasn't asking, I was declaring it. I was deciding it deep in my bones energetically. It was like, this is what's going to happen because this is what I want and I'm sick of not having it. That kind of energy, like it's a done deal. And the next freaking day, I hit the goal. And so I like celebrated it. And that's the other thing is there was a part of me for a split second that wanted to be like, okay, that was lucky. Or we'll see what I do tomorrow. But no, I was like, oh my gosh, I hit my goal. Like I'm on track. This is great. And I was just super positive about it. And then the next day I hit it. And then the next day I doubled it. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. And just kept that energy. Like this is it. This is my new norm. And the other thing that's crazy about that is it happened so quickly. I didn't even have to implement the things that we were learning or wait for this whole program to be done. It just happened because I just decided. It's like I stepped into this new reality, this new energy where this is my new minimum. And that was it. I mean, that was the only change that I made was setting the intention. But here I want to talk about the other part of that, okay? Because this is where we get screwed up, or this is where I've gotten screwed up in the past. So I run Facebook ads like off and on. And my goal is to be as hands off as possible. Like I'm homeschooling Amelia. Alexis is in a ton of activities. I just want to be as hands off as I can with my business so I could be hands on with my kids. It's a busy time, in our lives. And I want to be super present for that. So I knew like I'm going to run ads, but here's what happens, okay? And this is what did happen. I'm hitting my goal. I'm hitting my goal. I'm doubling my goal. I'm hitting my goal. And it goes good for like 4 or 5 days. Then all of a sudden it drops. And part of me, the old part of me, because this has happened many times before, is I freak out and I'm like, okay, it's not working anymore. I have to shut it off and like not do this anymore. So I shut it off. And then it'll like freak me out and then I won't do ads for a while. And instead, what I did is I said, okay, I'm going to troubleshoot and I'm going to give it a few days to see what happens. And what I came to realize is like, okay, it was like a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that the numbers were down. As soon as Monday rolled around, boom, they went back up. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's a weekend thing. Like people just aren't, they're busy, they're out living their lives. And that's why it was down because it was a weekend. And so I just kept it going. And then I followed like the plan of scaling the ads. And then anytime there was a dip, it's like instead of shutting it off, I'm going to adjust it. Maybe I add new copy or new images or add a different ad for a different product. And just like trusting that no matter what, I can figure this out and I don't have to shut it off. And it's been working. And it's like that consistency that I'm finally getting. And so the only things that I implemented or changed was setting the intention, meaning like completely deciding it, deciding it and claiming that this is my new reality now. Not if, not I hope, not wishing, actually deciding it deep within my bones. No doubt whatsoever. This is just, it is. This is what it is. And then not letting these little dips derail me. And that's what we do without realizing it. It's very subtle. It's a lot of times it's subconscious. We'll be on track for hitting our goal. And then one little hiccup will happen. And you can look at it as maybe it's the universe testing us. I just think it's more like, things aren't always perfect. There's always going to be ups and downs. Everything's a cycle, like I said in the beginning. And I think we get in our head and it plants this little seed of doubt, and we get in our head and we let ourselves completely get derailed and we give up. It's not that we fail, it's we give up because we're afraid that it's not working. We don't trust that it's actually working. And so we give up instead of continuing with the plan. And that's it. Those are the only two things that I changed. So that's the level of energy that I want you to take with the new moon, with setting your intention, that no matter what, I am stepping into this new reality. It's already done. And when there are little dips in the road, which there will be, this is just life is a cycle. It's the way it is. I'm not going to sabotage it. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to doubt myself. I'm not going to run in the other direction. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to look at it and ask, that's interesting. What do I need to see here? Do I need to take a different approach? Do I need to just wait it out? In my case, it was like, wait it out, give it a couple of days. And that was it. That's the energy. That is the level of intention setting that I want you to take with this new moon. And I want you to pick something that is just one specific goal and something that is tangible so that you know if you've hit it. Okay? So, for example, an income goal, a money goal, that is tangible. Another goal that I set that I manifested was I wanted to make friends with other homeschool moms. I wanted to provide, it was kind of like I want to meet other homeschool moms that I like, but that have kids that are the same age as my kids and they get along and we all share the same values, and more opportunities for social interaction, whether that's events that we go to, co ops, classes, whatever. That's what I wanted. And I cannot tell you, like, all in 1 week. It's like I met multiple different moms, liked all of them. The kids all got along great, same ages, same interests, like spot on. And then I found out about like a gazillion different events and co-ops and things that were there. Like they've been there all along. I just didn't know about them or see them until I set this intention. And now it's like flooding. Like I have so much to choose from. I could be super picky. So that would be another example of something tangible that you either see it or you don't see it. Something intangible would be like, I want to feel better. I want to be happier. I want to, whatever. The other thing to steer clear of is don't make it a negative intention, meaning don't say like, I want to stop being so hard on myself. I want to stop running up debt. Like make it the positive. Make it like I want to build a savings or I want to, get out of the house 3 times a week. Like just make it something very tangible. And that is what I would recommend. And don't get carried away because this is a new moon. We have a new moon every month. Okay. You don't have to plan out your entire life in the next 5 years. Just pick one thing you want to focus on, and look at it as a science experiment that you're going to go all in on no matter what to see if it manifests. Um, all right, let me look at my notes here so that I don't forget anything. Okay, so I'm going to read just one little snippet from there's this website. It's called Forever Conscious. Let me look it up real quick. Yeah, foreverconscious.com. This is my favorite site to like look at stuff for the new moon, the full moon. I am not super into astrology. I don't know all the ins and outs of everything, but I like to have like a good overview, and I think that she does a great job on this website. It's not affiliated with the podcast. She's not a sponsor or anything. I just love it. Um, so anyhow, looking at the review of like what this new moon is, I wanted to read this one part where she says, um, there is this energy of Chiron bringing incredibly healing vibrations. Um, let's see. Chiron's story is one of hope and reminds us that even in the darkest of emotions and moments, we always have the ability to rise and find our way forward. Okay, this is the important part. Chiron does not want us to sugarcoat our wounds or dress them up with false positivity. Instead, he encourages us to own them as part of who we are and recognize the strength and alchemy that we went through in acquiring those wounds. So I just absolutely love that. And I think that that leads you to more like authenticity, not sugarcoating, not trying to hide the imperfections, and it allows you to show up authentically in your own story. You're the main character and you're owning it. And I think that that is where you raise your vibration is being authentic, being real, and that includes all parts of it, the good, the bad, the ugly. And I know I've talked about this so many times on the podcast. I don't like much of what's out there in the manifestation space about healing. I think what we do is we focus so much on healing that we end up focusing more on the negative things that we want to heal than on where we're going. And so I like what the point that she brings up here with this Chiron energy of like just owning it. All the things that have happened to you, both good and bad, have culminated together to make you who you are today. And I guarantee those wounds and the bad things have made you stronger or braver or wiser or in a better position to help others, there's something good that came out of it that made you a stronger person, and just own that. And the reason why I bring all of this up is because part of the new moon ritual that I'm suggesting here is before you set your intention, think about like what energy are you ready to let go of so that you can embrace this new energy. And it doesn't mean sugarcoating or hiding, anything negative. It's just you're stepping into this new version of your life. And so you're letting go of, whatever you're moving into this month. What do you need to leave behind to get there? Is basically what I'm saying. But doing it in a way where um, it's not this big thing of like, okay, I need to heal. I need to let go of these like bad, you know, wounds or limiting beliefs. It's not any of that. It's just I'm stepping into this new energy, and all of those things that happened before got me to where I am today. They're part of my story, but now I'm stepping into a new chapter where I'm embodying this new energy and really focusing more on like where you want to go versus try thinking you have to heal something or remove something negative that happened. You know what I mean? It's just it's part of who you are, and you can release that energy, but not, you don't have to focus on it, I guess is what I'm saying. Like try not to hone in too much on that part. We're just this is what I'm leaving behind in, you know, the last cycle, and I'm stepping into this new cycle without that energy dragging me down. God, I feel like that was the longest explanation. Sorry. Sometimes I just get a little go off on a little tangent there. Um, okay, so there's that. And then the other part, and by the way, all of this you can get in the Manifest It Now app. I've been making so many changes to the app, but all like good changes. So I added a section that says new. So that's going to be where I put the new content every month. So you can find what's new. Like if you want to straight to the new stuff. So for this month, it's like a new moon ritual kit. There's going to be a subliminal, and it's stepping into wealth frequency. And I just think that is just a universally good one to listen to because you're stepping into this energy of abundance and letting go of scarcity. So even if you don't have a money goal, it doesn't matter. It's still getting into that abundant vibration. So there's the subliminal, there's an 8D guided meditation, and then there's a whole guided journal with a bunch of journal prompts. So I recommend do the journal prompts first. The subliminal, you can listen to it while you're journaling. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Listen to that while you go to sleep, whenever. Do the journal prompts first, then do the meditation because the journal prompts will help you visualize what we're going to do in the meditation. And I'll give you a couple of them right now, real quick. There's a whole bunch, but the first one is what is leaving my energy field with this moon? So again, like cleaning the slate, what is leaving your energy field? This could be anything. It could be maybe there's a negative person in your life and you're like, yeah, that's just naturally going to leave my energy field. Maybe it's just feeling like I was saying I was feeling really lethargic and not wanting to do anything. Like, yeah, that's gonna make its way out of my energy field. So just what over the last month do you want to release out of your energy field? And then second is if I trusted my power fully, what would I ask the universe for? And I think this is good. I think this is going to help you up level because again, you're not being meek about it. It's not like I want to manifest a minimum of $1,000 a day. It's like $1,000 a day is my new normal. This is the energy. This is the reality that I'm stepping into. So having the confidence to say it, like if you truly trusted how powerful you are to create your reality, what would you feel bold enough to ask for? And then the third is, where am I being guided to soften, slow down, or surrender more deeply? Okay, so let's talk about this one for a second. When we set these goals, there's this belief that we all have it because our that it's just the way our society is. We've all been conditioned with it that in order to achieve something, it has to come through hard work, through stress, through taking a lot of action. That's why I gave you the example in the beginning of how the only thing I did differently was I set the intention, I decided, and I didn't give up. I didn't turn off my ads. I kept going with them and just tweaking them to make it work. So it didn't require any more stress, any additional action, doing all of these extra things. It was literally just that. So where are you could also ask yourself, like, where are you feeling really stressed or really anxious? And can you let go of that? Can you tell yourself, well, maybe I don't need to get to that right now. Maybe I can just trust that everything will work out for my highest good. And a great practice for this, by the way, this was in The Magic by Rhonda Byrne, where she calls it your magical to-do list. So if you have something that's like weighing you down, you've been putting it off, it's stressing you out, write a magical to-do list asking the universe to handle this. Like, handle this problem for me. This is your to-do list. Let the universe figure it out so you can get back to that energy of like softening and surrendering and trusting that everything is working out. So try that out. I've done it many times, and you will be amazed at how many problems will work themselves out when you get out of your own way and just let it be. Okay, so those are three. There's a whole journal with a bunch of prompts if you want more. So I would do the journal prompts, get really, really clear on your one intention that you're going to call in with this new moon, and then do the guided meditation. Now, I want to talk about meditation for a second. And I want to talk about when I say, like, I made the decision to step into this new reality, we hear people say, call it like a quantum leap or a quantum jump. We've heard this so many times, right? I want to talk about what that means and the science behind it, because this is actually a real measurable thing. So I was listening to a physicist, her name's Teresa Bullard, and she was explaining what's called the quantum gap. So she was saying that if you take a proton with the right energy, it can excite an atom into a higher orbital state. So the atom goes from a lower orbital state to a higher orbital state when this photon has the right energy, the right vibration. It's aligning it to this higher orbital state. But it doesn't, you can't see the atom go from the lower orbital state to the higher. What happens is the atom's in the lower orbital state and then it disappears and it shows up as a new higher orbital state. So her whole question was, where does it go when it disappears? And how does it come back transformed? And she says it goes to the quantum field. It disappears, it goes into the quantum field, and it comes back as this higher version of itself. That is a quantum leap or a quantum jump. And so she says it's in the gap, the in between, that all the magic happens, right? So think about it. Think about what I said earlier, like with my goal. In the past, I would sabotage it in the in between. In the in between, where it's still kind of up in the air. You think you've manifested it, but you don't really know. You're waiting for the other shoe to drop. That's where we screw it up. That's where we self sabotage. We give up and it doesn't happen. But what if in that in between, you fully trusted that this energy is being transmuted in the quantum field and is going to come back in this higher orbital state? And you just fully trusted that. And then the other thing this made me think of too is that gap, that quantum gap where it's in the quantum field. I think that is where we go when we meditate. If you've ever read Richard Dott's Dollars Flow to Me Easily, he talks about getting into this state, this meditative state where you quiet all the mental chatter and you go to what he calls the universal good. And it's like our default state. And when we clear all the crap out of our head, all the chatter, and we just allow ourselves to be quiet and go within, we get there. We can get there anytime we want. It's the universal good. I think that the universal good is this quantum gap. I think we can access it whenever we want. And I think that's why meditation is so powerful. And for me, if someone would have explained that to me like 10 years ago, I probably would have gotten into meditation a lot more than I did. But I think that's I think that's where we go. And I think that's why it can be so powerful and so transformative. So that is the intention with this guided meditation, is to get you to that state where you're putting that intention in the quantum field so that it can come back in the physical realm in whatever form you're intending it to. And the other thing with this guided meditation, it's an 8D audio. So if you don't know what that is, you really have to experience it to fully understand what it is. So you need to have headphones on. If you don't have headphones on, it's not going to work. But you put headphones on and it feels like the words are swishing around in your head. Like it feels like the whole meditation is like circling around your body. And this helps to create balance in the left and right hemisphere of the brain to bring you in that good middle ground of the divine masculine energy and the divine feminine energy, which is like the prime state for manifesting, when you can get a good balance right in between. So it's good for that. It's good for calming your nervous system, clearing the mental clutter, and really immersing yourself in the meditation. So the reason why I like it is I'm the type of person, I don't like to sit still. My mind wanders. I've always had a hard time with meditation for that reason. But this is different because it doesn't feel like you're just sitting there. It feels like you are immersed in the meditation. And again, it's hard to put words to it. You just have to plug in headphones and listen to it to get what I'm saying. But it's very powerful. So that's why I've started making those for the app, because I figured out how to do it and it's worked well for me. And so I think it'll work well for you too. So that's it. Okay. It's getting clearer, whether you journal it out or whatever, getting clear, deciding. So setting that intention is really deciding, declaring, and then don't waver in the quantum gap. Let it do its thing in the quantum field and trust it's all happening. And the best way to not get in your head and self-sabotage and to really just trust is to let it go. Like, go worry about other things. Go live your life and trust that it's happening in the background. I've given this example a million times, but it's like a very good example. If you place an order on Amazon, you don't sit there and hem and haw about it for the entire day thinking like, I hope it shows up. I hope that the Amazon driver comes. I hope it makes its way to my door. You order it and you go about your day and you forget about it until it shows up. That's the best way to let go. If you're not thinking about it, then you can't sabotage it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't get in your head about it. If you just distract yourself with life, go live your life, set your intention, do the meditation, and then live your life and let it go. And that is the quickest way you can get out of your own way and let it take form in our physical realm. So that's it. That's the new moon. Now, I don't think I said this. The new moon is on October 21st, which is Tuesday. Uh, it's actually early in the morning. I wrote it down. I think it's 8:35 a.m., 8:25 a.m. Eastern time. So typically we think of the new moon like doing an evening ritual, which you totally can. You can also do a morning ritual if you want. It does not have to be though on the 21st. This energy is like it's here. It's a new cycle. So do it anytime this week. If you are listening to this episode later and it's Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, it doesn't matter. You can still use this energy to manifest. You can use this energy to manifest even when it's not the new moon. Okay. There's no like rules about setting intentions. You can set intentions and decide anytime you want. It's just the new moon is a great time to do that, but it doesn't have to be this time. It could be any time, no matter when you're listening to this episode. So yeah, so that is what I'm doing. Try for anyone that is doing that. Let me know what you think of the new 8D guided meditation. Let me know when your manifestation shows up. I love hearing from you guys and hearing like the actual experiences that people are having. I'll link everything in the show notes, or you could just go to the Manifest It Now app. It's also on my website, lawofattractiontribe.com. So yeah, go set some intentions. It's going to be a great new cycle to call in all kinds of things that are just a new chapter. It's just a new beginning. You can let go of whatever's not serving you and start fresh. Think of it as a fresh start, a new beginning. And I'll see you back here next week. Bye.